suspended Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane has rejected the Section 194 Committee's recommendation that she be removed from office. She argues that the committee cannot decide on her removal before she has commented on the draft report. The report has found grounds to sustain charges of incompetence and misconduct against her, and she's free to make her input. Let's speak to Lawson Naidoo now from the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution, who joins us virtually from Cape Town. Lawson, thank you so much for your time. Always good to talk to you. So news coming through on Friday that the members of the Section 194 inquiry are supporting the recommendation for her removal. Your initial reaction to that latest development?
Good morning, Marcel. Thank you. Well, it's hardly surprising that the committee has come to the conclusion that it has, that the majority of the charges, as it were, against Busisiwe Mkhwebane have been endorsed by the committee, that on the basis of the evidence that was led before the committee, which was, we must remember, has sat for well over a year listening to evidence from various witnesses, that they've come to the conclusion that Busisiwe Mkhwebane is guilty of incompetence and misconduct and therefore should be removed from office. I think the important part is that the committee finalized its report yesterday. It's a draft report at this stage. It has been sent to Busisiwe Mkhwebane, and she has until Monday, the 21st of August, I believe, in order to provide her input to the committee, her comments on that draft report, whereafter the committee will consider her input, finalize its report, and submit that to the National Assembly for a decision to be taken.
Now, there have been further comments of support from both the Democratic Alliance and the ANC, all part of that committee. But the Economic Freedom Front fighters have rejected the report. They're accusing the inquiry of committing, quote, procedural own goals. We've heard them say that before. Do you think they have a leg to stand on?
Well, I don't. I think, the manner in which Busisiwe Mkhwebane has conducted this process has been designed to delay the process and kick it into touch until her term of office comes to end in October of this year. And in those efforts, she has been supported by both the EFF and the UDM and one or two other parties. But it's quite clear that the committee itself has been very indulgent towards Busisiwe Mkhwebane. She has been given adequate opportunity to make representations. She's been provided with the necessary funds to get proper legal advice. And if she has chosen not to maximize the use of those opportunities that have been provided to her by the committee, I don't think one can claim that there's procedural unfairness. This process has been, televised. It's been open to the public to follow, and I think South Africans can make up their own minds about this. I think what is clear is that once the process is completed, and assuming that the National Assembly votes to impeach Busisiwe Mkhwebane, which they will be required to do with the 2/3 majority of the members of the National Assembly, then this matter will be reviewed in court, and the various issues that are being raised now will be addressed at that point. But I think Parliament, as I say, has accommodated Busisiwe Mkhwebane to the extent that they were able to, noting that they can't this process to drag on forever.
Now, Busisiwe Mkhwebane's official term ends in October, and you, in your position at CASAC, you've already moved on to a certain extent, because I see you've already commented on what we should be looking for in our next public protector candidate, and you have said that the skills of the public protector candidates should be what they should focus on and not their political views. Do you think how we search, or who we search for, and what we search for in our next public protector will be impacted by what we've learned from what has transpired in that office under her tenure?
Well, the comments that we've made around the process of selecting a new public protector and the skills and criteria that Parliament ought to be looking for really stem from the experiences of the previous process in 2016. Which we felt was not robust enough. Parliament did not have an objective set of criteria against which to evaluate each of the candidates that were there. And it became a game of political horse trading and ultimately a political decision seems to have been reached as to who was the best candidate, rather than on the merits and skills and attributes of each of those candidates. And given that this office has become increasingly weaponized over the tenure of Busisiwe Mkhwebane, our appeal to the ad hoc committee in Parliament that's selecting the next public protector is to focus on the objective criteria that's required, that candidates of the correct stature, experience, skill, and people who will have the confidence of the South African public. Because at the end of the day, this is an office that is there to serve those who are on the marginalized edges of our society, who would not have access to the legal system were it not for these Chapter 9 institutions. So they're really there to provide easy access to justice, and there needs to be confidence in the ability of that office to carry out its mandates, so that people can feel confident that their grievances will be dealt with properly.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your insight. As always, Lawson Naidoo is from the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution, joining us virtually there from Cape Town this morning.